Alright, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today I've got a story time from something I witnessed just a couple days ago when I was getting some lunch, and some customer in front of me ended up going ballistic and trying to fight the dude who was trying to make a sandwich, which I really wouldn't recommend. Little known fact, but if you try to fight the person making your food, chances are they'll stop making your food. You heard it here first. Don't punch the chef if you want dinner. I know most of you guys are like, that's obvious. Apparently it wasn't to this dude. Regardless, I knew it would make a pretty good story time. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so I was feeling pretty hungry one day, and I decided to go get myself a sandwich from one of the places that make sandwiches. I won't say which one, but it should be pretty obvious which place is very well known for making sandwiches. But anyways, when I go into the store, I walk into a small line, which isn't surprising. It was right around lunchtime, so I'm just gonna wait. Obviously, I'm not gonna be like, is there a fast pass for this? That's not how it works. So I get in line, and the two people in front of me is an older lady and then like a college-age dude with a beanie on, which only stood out to me because it's like 103 degrees outside. Actually, as the time of making this video, it's 104 degrees, and this only happened a few days ago, so it's really hot, which I didn't expect people to be rocking the beanies. I mean, to each their own. If you're trying to make a fashion statement, good for you, but wearing a beanie in 103 degrees is just a weird fashion statement. I'm trying to make a statement. Global warming is gonna make the polar bears feel like me wearing a beanie. Either way, the lady orders, no issue, because she's just trying to get a sandwich. But then this guy steps up to order, and I don't know if the beanie was restricting blood flow to his head, or if he had just forgotten how to talk to people, but he opens up with arguably the rudest beginning to an order I've ever heard. And I worked at a place where I took orders, so I have some experience getting yelled at or told rude things while taking an order. And even I couldn't believe how hot this guy came in, dude. It must have been the beanie. Usually when I come in here, you guys are idiots and get it wrong. And that's all he says, which is not a very good sentence because I don't really know what you want the worker to reply to that. Like, okay, I'm sorry that usually when you come in here we get the order wrong. I'll try my best not to make it happen. And it's also rude, so the worker's just not going to want to get your order right. Like, listen, if I worked at this place and somebody came in screaming at me for always messing up their order when I'd never made them anything before, I would just purposely mess it up to mess with them. I know, corporate everywhere is gasping, but like, it would be kind of funny. Come on, you just troll them. Either way, the worker is trying to be nice, having more patience than the average bear, and is like, I'm sorry that happened. I'll try my best to make sure that I don't mess up your order. I've never done that before. And they didn't really have to do all this. They could have just been like, wow, that's insanely entitled. But what was really funny about this to me too, and it stood out to me, is this was one of those places where they make the sandwich like right in front of you. So I'm sure there have been times before where the people have messed up a sandwich. However, if you're watching them make it and they put something that you didn't ask for on or forget something, you can tell them like right then. You don't have to like, just eat it. They're literally just putting a bunch of stuff he didn't order on his sandwich, and he's like, oh great, now I've got to eat all of this. There's nothing I can do about this. Regardless, even though the employee is trying to be nice, I guess Beanie Dude was not having any of it, because he just like looks at the worker and tells him, well, pay attention this time or we're gonna have issues. Which, okay, man, you're just gonna threaten them? Like, pay attention, don't mess my order up or we're going to have issues. Well, duh, if you messed up the order either way, there was going to be an issue. But I feel like it's really bizarre to put the pressure on them, you know? If you do not make this the best sandwich you've ever made in your entire career, then I will single-handedly bring down this corporation. I will buy every publicly traded stock of this company and just delete them from existence. I want you guys bankrupt. I want you destroyed. I never want to see another one of these places in existence anywhere. Like, all right, dude. Oh, we're gonna have an issue. Ooh, okay, I'll take my chances. But the worker says, okay, they're having a ton of patience, and they just go about making a sandwich. And what was really weird is I don't know how the Beanie Dude's sandwich could have ever been messed up by anyone, because it was probably one of the most simple things of all time. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I myself love a good simple sandwich, But it was like, dude, how did anyone ever mess this up? And once again, it's not like there was so many ingredients and so much going on that maybe he didn't notice while they were making it. There was like 5 things on the sandwich, so I still didn't understand why he didn't just point it out when they had allegedly gotten it wrong before. You can just do that. But anyways, they get to the end of the sandwich line, and the guy has done a good job. He's made the sandwich the way he's asked. But the dude in the beanie just wasn't going to be able to take the sandwich and not have an issue. So they get to the end, and the guy making the sandwich says something along the lines of like, "Did I mess anything up?" And he laughs a little bit, obviously trying to make a joke. And in my opinion, that's like a borderline dad joke. It's not a pun, but somebody comes in and says, "Oh, people always mess my stuff up." So you do it and go, "Well, I didn't mess anything up, did I?" Like, it's just a little, haha. It's not that deep. It's very not deep of a sentence. If it's very not deep of a situation. And if you freak out about that, like, that's kind of weird. But for some reason, he was just insanely pissed. What do you mean by that? Did you mess anything up? Are you making fun of the fact that I was upset about your other coworkers messing up my sandwiches before? And the worker looks surprised, like, dude, how are you extrapolating literally any of what you just said from what I said? Because all I said was some silly little joke about, "Oh, I didn't mess up, did I?" And in your mind, you somehow made the jump to like, "Oh, he is making fun of me for having a negative experience and trying to defend his coworkers. I will make him pay for his mistake. Boop, boop, beep, boop, boop, Terminator, Karen mode." But Beanie Guy starts to go off about how he might as well file a 1-star review and call corporate because clearly everyone in this store was out to get him. And I think it's insane that you could think you're important enough for the staff at Subway to be secretly colluding against you. Do you understand how annoying you would have to be in a Subway on a day-to-day basis for everybody that works there to know who you are, decide you're annoying, and then instead of just dealing with it, secretly start messing with your sandwiches? Like, that is so many levels of stuff that didn't happen happening. Maybe if you were like Brad Pitt and you frequented this Porta Subs, maybe if you were like Angelina Jolie at this Jersey Mike's, it would be one thing. But I don't think that they're just paying attention to some random dude that comes in, unless you are the most annoying person on earth. And at that point, you've probably already filed a 1-star review and reported everyone to corporate anyways, so what's one more time? But the worker isn't really enjoying being yelled at, and he just tells the guy to like, please calm down. There's no reason to be yelling at him. And the beanie guy is like, please calm down. Please calm down. I will fight you right now. And he was mad before, but now he had turned into that turning red, spitting while you're screaming mad. Like when somebody's so mad, they just start to not make sense with the stuff they're yelling. Like when someone's so mad, they're yelling threats, but their brain can't really compute the entire sentence. He's looking at the worker and just making threats like, dude, if you don't come out from behind there right now, I'm gonna hit you so hard that your leg's gonna stop working. And you're like, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Like, it's a decent threat, but it wasn't what I would have gone with, you know? Oh, okay. And the worker starts laughing because it's this tiny little dude with his beanie screaming that this is such a big issue that he's gonna fight him over this. And the tiny guy is like, why are you laughing at me? I don't understand why this is funny. The fact that you think that me being upset is funny shows everything about you. And the worker says something that everybody is thinking and just goes like, dude, you are trying to fight me over a sandwich that I didn't mess up because I made a comment that I didn't mess it up. And look at you, you're screaming like you're red, you're spitting over here. It's just funny. And obviously the guy who's freaking out and being embarrassing doesn't like it being pointed out to him that it's embarrassing, because the next thing he does is like try to go over the little divider thing, like, you know, the glass tube that they have to prevent people from being able to touch the ingredients. He tries to get up and over it and like grab the worker. But the only problem is this guy happens to be vertically challenged. And I've got nothing against short people. This is nothing against them. But if you're trying to be all tough macho man and jump over a counter and grab someone and pull them over the counter and fight them, you might just want to do a little bit of the mental math in your head and make sure that you can get over the counter. Because what ended up happening is he went to do the jump and got like stuck kind of halfway over and then slowly slid back down. Like he wasn't tall enough to get his body weight over the glass to get over it. And at that point, the worker is like, you need to go. I'm calling the police, because he just almost got attacked. But the beanie guy isn't having it. And he kind of bends down, and it's obvious that he's going to try to jump over the glass a second time. Which obviously, if you have all your adrenaline pumping and you go for the jump once and it doesn't make it. Like if you're too short to make the jump once, why you would go for it again, I'm not too sure. Maybe his ego was bruised. Listen, I can't miss this jump in front of everybody. My ego is going to be insanely bruised. I have to try again. And he tries for it, and it doesn't happen. He does get a little higher, but it's still not enough. But this time, as he's kind of stuck at the top before he starts sliding down, the worker reaches over, and I thought the worker was gonna hit him. I was like, here we go, it's about to be a brawl situation. But no, instead, the worker just grabs a fistful of his beanie from the top of his head and pulls it right off. And when the beanie comes flying off, the only thing I can say is that the dude's hairline was not the best. And I'm not gonna make fun of anyone that's balding. My dad's bald. Like, it is what it is. I don't think people have any control over when they lose their hair. So like, I'm not gonna say that it was his fault that he was balding. But in this situation, if you've tried to attack somebody twice and they just ripped off your beanie and they see that you have a bad hairline, obviously they're going to lay into you about it. And it's just, you know, it's reality. Like, it doesn't really matter whether or not it was cool for him to make fun of his hairline. This guy did try to punch him twice. He just ripped off his beanie, sees the hairline, probably does an assumption that the guy's wearing the beanie because he doesn't like the hairline, and he just goes, oh man, look at that hairline. And now the short guy is trying to jump over the counter, but he's kind of doing it rapidly. So it kind of looks like a tall kid just trying to just repeatedly jump for something out of their reach. And he's like, give me the beanie, give me the beanie. And the worker's laughing and throws the beanie back. And the guy like frantically puts it on all rapidly. And he's like, screw you, man. You're lucky that I don't have my lawyer on speed dial. Yeah, because it's so hard to Google your lawyer's number. He's really lucky he doesn't have it on speed dial. What is this, 1987, dude? Oh, hold on. Let me press 3 on my Nokia flip phone. I know that was not 1987, guys. I'm just saying speed dial is old. I don't think anyone I know uses speed dial. Maybe I'm just the weirdo not using speed dial. I just didn't know it was some insanely popular thing that, like, if you didn't have someone on speed dial, it just became impossible to call them. Whoa, I don't have my mom on speed dial, so I haven't talked to her in 9 years. What am I gonna do? Use speed dial? No, thank you. It's not even programmed, and if it's not on speed dial, I can't memorize the number. But you would think at that point, he storms out. He storms out, right? Like, he's gotta be so angry, he's embarrassed at the situation. He has to storm out. But no, now he's just like, screw you, you're lucky that I don't have my lawyer on speed dial. And the next thing he says caught me so off guard that I almost started laughing. I managed to hold it in because I didn't want him to turn his anger on me. But all he said was like, how much is my sandwich? Which, listen, you just tried to fight the dude making the sandwich. You just got your hat ripped off when you were trying to attack him the second time, and you're still gonna ask for the sandwich? On principle alone, you should have walked out of the store. Like, there's no reason for you to think that they're going to still sell you the sandwich, and you just shouldn't want a sandwich from a place that's employing people you wanted to fight. And the worker is kind of shocked that he even had the nerve to ask for it. And so he asks him, well, what makes you think that I'm even going to sell you the sandwich? And the beanie guy says something along the lines of like, well, I ordered the sandwich and I'm a paying customer and it's already made, so just give it to me. And the worker does probably the coolest move that I've seen someone do in one of these situations. He picks up the sandwich that's wrapped and he goes, oh, this sandwich? And the beanie guy says, yeah, that sandwich. And he unwraps it and just takes a giant bite out of the corner, which ruins it for that guy. And as he's chewing, he says, sorry, we don't have it anymore. And the beanie guy yells some profanity, which I'm not going to repeat because I'm trying to stay monetized, but he screams some stuff and he storms out of the store. And everybody's just kind of like sitting there for a second, not knowing what to say. But he turns around, he puts the guy's sandwich down, and he looks at me and he goes, next. I don't know if this place has a particular increase in crazy people. I don't know if it's something they deal with every day, but the dude just seems so nonchalant about it, as if he does that every day. once a day somebody comes in and is saying that they're not gonna mess up the sandwich, and he says okay, gets them so pissed off that he has a reason to bite it. Maybe that's his entire scam to get free food while he's at work. He's like, listen, if I just piss off customers and they leave behind the sandwich that I had made for them, then I get to eat it. That's why he always messes with this guy's order, is because it's pretty close to the way he likes his sandwich. So when the guy gets all pissy and says he made it wrong, he's like, oh, okay, I'll take it back. And then he eats it. We figured it out, ladies and gentlemen. But I really was stupefied on how calm the dude seemed, as if none of that bothered him. It really happened on a day-to-day basis. So I was kind of in shock a little bit, but he says it again. He goes, hey man, do you want a sandwich? And so I say yes, because I did want a sandwich. That is why I was here. I didn't realize that I was going to get food and entertainment in one swift go, but it did kind of snap me out of watching the fight. I don't know. So it worked. He got my attention and I did want a sandwich. So I step up and I start ordering the sandwich, and I'm just not saying anything about it because I didn't want to draw more attention to it. And I also expected him to say something about it because he was the person that had it happen. And we get through the entire sandwich making process and he still hasn't said anything. So I'm starting to be like, dude, does this happen all the time in my head? Because he literally went back to normal, and so did his coworker. So it wasn't like he was acting normal because, I don't know, shock or something, and his coworker was talking about how crazy that was. They both just were acting as if everything was normal. In fact, they both seemed bored. I understand working at this place was probably boring, but you would think after that there'd be some excitement in the air, a little bit of electricity. Nope, they both acted like they had been there for 70 hours straight and just wanted to do nothing other than go home. But we get to the end of them making my sandwich, and I have to say something. So I think I asked, like, does that happen a lot? You guys seem cool about it, or like, are you guys cool with how that dude acted? Everyone seems calm. And they both looked at me and they just started to explain that in the last 2 years, people have just started acting crazy with them, and that compared to some of the stuff that's gone down, that was relatively calm because at least he left. And I didn't really know what to say to that. I don't feel like the job is worth it at that point. Obviously, they're doing it because they gotta be doing it, but there's gotta be another job that they can get where that's not normal. Just some dude trying to attack you over his sandwich in a beanie in 105-degree weather should not be something that you're super, super used to. But I just kind of said, well, thanks for the sandwich, paid for it, and left. And they were like, yeah, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Have a good day. But yeah, anyways, Beanie Dude tried to fight the guy making his sandwich over, I don't know, the fact that he didn't mess up. I'm still trying to think about it and understand why that made him so angry. Haha, I didn't mess up your sandwich, right? What did you say? What did you say? All right, bro, outside, 30 seconds, beat down, me and you, 1v1, mano y mano. Like, goodness gracious, all he was trying to do is make you a delicious sandwich. I knew you guys would enjoy it, though. I can't lie, the entire time I was watching it go down, I was like, oh, it's gonna be a video. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, let me know in the comment section down below. It really helps the video do better. And if you don't know what to comment, go ahead and comment the word sandwich down below. Like I said, it just helps the video do better and I'd appreciate it. And if you like content like this, subscribe and turn on notifications because I'm posting a video every day. I know this one's a little shorter. I've got a really long one coming tomorrow, okay? So be sure to be on the lookout for that. If you like listening to these but you don't want to watch gameplay, you want to listen offline, whatever floats your boat, I do post it on Spotify as well, link in the description, along with a link to a playlist of my favorite story times from the year so far. So if you need something to listen to while you're doing your chores or whatever, use that YouTube playlist link down below. And on that note, that'll do it. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'm out. Peace.